Let's take you back to Tsomo now, where residents in the Eastern Cape Town have spent the better part of today sharing their service delivery concerns with President Cyril Ramaphosa, who used today's presidential imbizo in the area to outline some of the plans that government have in place to improve their lives. In fact, the Eastern Cape is one of South Africa's poorest provinces, with a large number of people living below the poverty line. Our reporter Ronald Masinda is on the ground for us covering this story. And there's a lot that's been said, Ronald. I mean, the big highlight or takeaway was Minister Zikalala saying there are 19 bridges that will be built. But how are you going to build those bridges when there are no roads to speak of in some of the most rural parts of the Eastern Cape?
Your Excellency, Mr. President.
And just to put things to perspective, and this was a conversation that was made by Oscar Mabuyane, the Premier of the province, saying that 90% of the province is actually made up of rural or gravel roads, and that there's only 10% roads here in the Eastern Cape. So lots of work lies ahead for the government. We've heard from several cabinet ministers earlier on. We heard from Police Minister Becky Cele talking about the issues faced within police stations, and that work is going ahead to try and fix some of the problems faced. Human settlements, Mamkubai also speaking about how government has tried by all means to assist those people who are in need of housing, given that this region, this part of South Africa has been hit by several natural disasters. And some of the other speakers, we also heard from some of the projects, water projects. A lot of the areas here in the Eastern Cape are without water. But President Ramaphosa saying that this presidential imbizo has been a resounding success, and that this has been the largest turnout in presidential imbizos. He also said that in as much as a lot of people who spoke on the floor, that they had a lot of issues, serious issues such as load shedding, unemployment, poverty, crime, and many other problems. He also acknowledged that some people have also credited government for some of the good work that has been done. But I'm going to get more reaction here, William, because not a lot of people who are here or have happy stories to tell about this particular region. And I'm joined by members of the agricultural sector, and you guys, President, on several occasions pointed you out for the placards that you have. What are your issues?
Thank you, Ronald. I think part in the main, I must introduce myself. My name is Kanya Sanda. I was born and raised in Namako. I'm residing currently in East London. I stand here as the National Coordinator of the Steering Committee of Assistant Agriculture Practitioners. But in the main, what we're here to do, we are trying to appeal to the President, who were employed as Assistant Agriculture Practitioners, placed in the country. There was a recruitment of 10,000 AAPs. Though the target was not met, some of us were absorbed in the system. Subsequently to that, our contract was 3 months, and then it was extended by another 3 months, and was subsequently extended for 1 month. But we are here today because of the shocking news that we received on the 31st of July about the termination of contracts of AAPs nationally, with government citing budget deficiencies. We are here today to try and appeal to the President. We have made sure that we submit our memorandum of demands to the Presidency. We have submitted our memorandum of demands to the MEC of Agriculture in the province, hoping that they are going to be able to call us onto a table, how we can speak on how the program will be sustainable. Therefore, we are calling that government must release funds to employ 10,000 AAPs to strengthen the program of capacity building and extension of service.
Did you bring this message across, though, when a lot of the people had an opportunity to speak?
Unfortunately, we could not be able. We were fighting to get recognition there at the front, but because of the influx, and if you are going to have more than 10,000 people here in an imbizo, you cannot have 30 people speaking, which means you are not going to cover all the speakers. We adhere to the process. We filed our submissions, though I must say that we are not confident through this interview, we would love that the President takes priority of agriculture graduates in the form of AAPs, because the program itself in the past 7 months has seen great elevation in the extension work of government, Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. So I can say that we are hoping that it will our memorandum will reach the relevant hands.
Before the President's address, before he spoke about looking at you guys with your placards, he also got summoned to the podium, an overseas investor, talking about the hemp economy. Is that a bit encouragement to you?
It is. I mean, Ronald, not only are we talking about hemp production, there is potential. It is encouraging. The work is there. Government needs to find a way to integrate the human capital that it has. Agriculture graduates, integrate them within. If you are talking of investment, you are talking of cannabis investment, we are talking of transporting food, we are talking of localized food production. You cannot do that in any way without including the people who have gone to school, who have went there to attain qualifications. Behind me you can see there are people holding master's degrees, there are people holding honors degrees, diplomas and degrees. These people government needs to find space to integrate them and make their employment sustainable, subsequently permanent. With the current employment model, I would say, for me, I am on a 50% confidence to say that whatever that has been said here, should it be implemented, it must be implemented with us.
Before I let you go, I see that you are wearing an ANC Youth League cap. A lot of people here came in support of the ANC. As the young people, as young graduates who are without work, do you still have faith in the ANC to lead this country?
I think whether we have faith on the ANC or not is neither here nor there. Because I stand before you now representing many people of different organizations. So we are saying we are part of the citizens, we are also disgruntled. Government can do better. We do have faith in the ANC, but as we stand, we will only get faith when we see tangible results.
Kanya, thank you very much indeed for your time. Well, that's a reaction from the ground from a group of very disgruntled young people who belong to the agricultural sector. They say that they were not given opportunity to get their message across. So what we will also do, William, is also try to get more reaction from many people who are still here at this tent, this massive tent here in Tsomo. It's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, Ronald. I mean, we did hear from one of the speakers earlier who is apparently an investor from Canada talking about hemp industrialization, which will see renewable energy coming into the province and by some way grow food production as well will be a thing that apparently will provide about 100,000 jobs. We'll have to wait and see when plans are in action if these tangible results will come to effect as the presidential imbizo there in the Eastern Cape.